What's going on, everybody? Minus here from What's going on, everybody? Oh, am I doing Minus this again? What's going on? It's the second week in a row. I actually went into Twitch and I made sure it was muted, and then when I reopened it, it wasn't muted. Good thing we do a pre-show because I got to be honest, the professionalism of this show is horrible. It's horrible. We need So hey, everybody, Minus here from Pantheon Plus. Minus here from Pantheon Plus. No, I'm just kidding. So we are about 2 minutes away from the draft. If you are watching this in a replayed on demand, skip 2 minutes ahead to get to the start of the show. This is a one we're really excited about. The green room is going to be very important for this. You guys are going to be picking a team. You also have earned the first draft pick, but we're going to wait to go over all the rules until we start the actual show. So right now I'm just having a beer. Nathan, here's a beer to you. Miletus, a beer to you. Theric, a beer to you, and a beer to the community out there. And if you don't drink, I'll drink for you. I'm good for that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So Bronson actually signed up for our pay-per-view version. So that's awesome. I appreciate that, Bronson. That goes. Listen, I want you guys to know that all pay-per-view funds go to getting Minus to be able to stream. We're bribing Bending. So all funds from the pay-per-view will go to bribing Bending. So let's see. We got Hiya. Oh my gosh, Hiya couldn't resist. He's like, I'm gonna come to a show. I haven't been to a Pantheon PlusYou, but my name's on the board, so I'm gonna be here. That's what he said.
Good enough reason if there ever was one.
It's good. Bronson, you can definitely drink Coke, buddy. Everything is good. And if I will be the drunken idiot for you. I'm already 3 or 4 beers in. No, I won't be drunk, but we'll have fun.
Typical Cowboys fan.
Listen, there's. I'm not going to get into some of the things I want to say as a joke, but right now, if you live in America, you have one team, America's team.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, I don't know about that. Man.
You know what's funny? We got Nathan is wearing a Green Bay shirt, which you guys will see, which is funny to me because he just moved there, and I told him that he better not become an Aaron Rodgers fan. And Miletus, you remember that?
I actually only bought this shirt because of you. I
thought you were probably trolling him. I thought
I'm not even a Packers fan. I just knew
fantastic. So we are gonna have a fun time tonight, guys. We'll announce all the rules, but it's 9:00, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this show started. Okay. Let's go ahead and throw up the viewer warning, and we will jump right in.
Oh, we're live. We're streaming right now. Cool. Awesome, man. Let me just
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this is not the right board. There we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to, I'm like, this isn't the whiteboard that I know. Welcome to the Pantheon 2020 Dungeon Group Draft. If you're here tonight for the first time and you've never seen a Pantheon PlusYou, this is going to be the most ridiculous Pantheon PlusYou I've ever done. We got bells and whistles. We have a host. Theric is here. What's up, Theric? How are you?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
And we also have our other drafting team. So we have 4 teams tonight. And we'll start from the bottom and go up. The 4th draft pick voted on by the community, which means last voted for, is me. Team Minus gets the 4th pick of the draft here. Team 3 is going to actually be the 3rd draft pick here is Team Miletus. What's up, Miletus? How have you been?
Hey. Good, man. Glad to be here. Excited to pick my best team.
Yes. And Miletus, you have had quite a life turned upside down by this pandemic. A lot of us are just at home, frustrated, eating the same thing, eating a lot of cereal. But your life has been pretty crazy, huh?
Pretty crazy. You know, I teach at a small community college, and I teach with a lot of older faculty who don't use technology. So become their best friend, but it's kind of frustrating. You have 85 best friends. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you put a tweet out that I thought was incredible, by the way. And that tweet was in relation to all the teachers that, were, making fun of you for being not making fun, but, poking at you for being a streamer or being into all this techie stuff, and a gamer Are they all crawling to you right now for help?
Yeah, that's funny because I made that tweet and I didn't think about them actually turning to me for help. I thought maybe they would be a bit intimidated after they had criticized me all those years to come for help, but that didn't stop them. They kept coming and coming. But
so not only are you doing right. Yeah.
See, gamers used to be right back in the day. We use that label and we kind of get admonished for that label. And I think today what you're seeing, like especially during this pandemic, is gamers know how to get stuff done. You know, they can stream and they can use technology and they can reach out. We've been reaching out to people for years in MMOs. So this is nothing like horribly groundbreaking for us to continue as normal. I know not all jobs, but at least my job, you can continue to roll. So yeah, it's been a fun experience, let's say.
That's awesome. Apparently our Discord chat's not working. Let me see what's going on there. Let me connect this sucker. Doesn't want to connect. There we go. We're about to connect. It's supposed to auto connect. My token's invalid. Great. All right. So we're not going to have the Discord bot tonight, gents. Sorry about that, guys.
No problem.
Stuff happens.
Yeah. Well, you know, what are you going to do? All right. So no Discord bot tonight. You guys should know how to get in here if you haven't before. We can get the Discord link put in the chat. I'm sure that won't be a problem either. Okay, so Miletus, awesome. Thank you for coming, man. I thought it would be really fun. We have very differing perspectives on the teams that are being drafted here, and I like it. So, Miletus, welcome. If you guys don't know who Miletus is, you're living under a rock, but he's part of Standing in Fire. These guys are awesome. I love Miletus. He's one of my favorite people in the world. So, awesome. Thank you for coming and being part of such a crazy show.
Glad to be here, man. Excited.
And then we have Nathan Napalm. Team Nathan, number 2 overall. He'll have the number 2 pick, and he actually challenged for the first pick, which was kind of weighted against us. Let's be honest. So Nathan, the Knights of Napalm, they showed up, buddy. They wanted you to win this.
Yeah, they show up, man. They show up. They're ready to go to war, man. They go to war. So.
How have you been, man? How's the Corona life treating you? I'm really disappointed in the shirt you're wearing, but how's everything else?
Well, I have to say I'm not much has changed. I sit in a dark room looking at a computer all day. That's pretty normal for me. So not too much of a change. I'm home a little bit more than normal. Not much of a change, man. It's pretty much normal life. Haircut, have to wear hats. Can't go get my haircut. That's about the biggest change in my life.
Oh, me and Miletus really feel for you.
Yeah, I really feel for you, man. Yeah. I'm able to keep it nice and groomed. No problem at all here, brother.
Oh, man. Okay, so, look, Drac is spilling secrets. The green room is high on hiya. There's already stuff coming out here. Oh. So the way this is going to work, typically I'm hosting and have a co-host. I'm going to step back. I'm going to be focused on my team. We're really going to and obviously I still talk a lot, so good luck with that. But we're going to let Theric host this night. So the number 1 draft pick, and we're going to kick this show off with the number 1 draft pick, is going to be the community. How funny is it that the voting choices were us 3 teams or the community, and hey, the community won. But I think that works.
Deserve it. They deserve to win.
They do. Agree.
I'm glad they won.
So pretty cool stuff. I'm excited for that. So it is a snake draft. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then so forth. So we'll go through, and Theric will be keeping in charge of that. What we're going to be doing is we're actually going to ping Theric with who we're picking. He'll announce it. We have something funny we're going to show to kind of give a background of each person drafted. And then we're going to actually go into some conversation. So everyone's probably thinking, like, why is this the most ridiculous thing in the world? It is ridiculous, but I do, before we start, want to talk about what the underlying point of this is. If you guys look at the board, we don't have the optimum people, right? We have too many healers. We don't have enough DPS, right? Imagine this is your guild and you need to set up 4 groups. It means that you're going to have to make decisions that are centered around, well, how do we make something work? So as fun as this is going to be, it's themed after the draft, which started today. Really what this is going to be is a discussion around group composition. How do you make it work? And Pantheon's toted that you can kind of have any group and go in as long as people know what they're doing and fill their roles. So it should be pretty interesting. So you'll see very differing takes from all 3 of us and obviously from the community. But Theric, from that point on, I'm going to hand it over to you. You're the host. You're going to be guiding us on what we're doing here. So if you're ready, this is your show.
Yeah. Man. Okay. Well, you know what? So I'm going to put the green room on notice that they are now on the clock and they have to make a decision because they have the first pick. So what I'm going to do is jump in there at some point after I give them a few minutes here to discuss and figure out who they're picking. They may have already decided because they know the process here and they've had a bit of a heads up. So we'll wait and see how they're going to figure this out. I don't know who they're going to go with first. We had some sort of discussions ahead of time as to who the obvious choice might be for the first overall.
There's a very obvious pick to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So we'll see, though. I know, Miletus, you have some strategic ideas in mind and sort of, I don't know. So I'm going to duck into the green room. I'm going to get their pick, and I'm going to be right back.
Now, keep something in mind, too, for while he jumps in there. Just because I'm Team Minus, I don't get Minus. Team Miletus doesn't get Miletus. Team Napalm doesn't get Nathan. We would have to draft ourselves. So
Not going to happen. I'm the last healer I would pick out of that group. I'm just saying that right now. So not happening.
So it should be. So Vandrad says he's the obvious pick, and he's in there, so he might be lobbying for his team right now. Sacred has been saying this. Oh, okay. So
the
Sacred,
pick is in.
The pick. Hold on. Let me get the sound effect. We have to have the sound effect.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
With the first overall pick in the 2020 Pantheon Dungeon Group Draft, Team Community selects Lexer.
Wow.
From
Lexer.
That was completely out of left field, taking the Dire Lord off the board.
the Dire Lord.
Wow.
All right,
from
Dire
the
Lord.
tank class.
Okay,
I
let's
did not
go ahead.
expect
Who
the
did you
Dire Lord
pay?
to be the first
Who did
tank
you pay,
pick.
Lexer?
So
Lexer's
hold on.
gonna
So
have some
first,
cash.
is Lexer able to get into the green room to come on and talk about being the first pick? Lexer, if you're available to talk about what it means to you to be the first round pick, come into the green room. But guys, here's what we want to do. We want to show you guys a little bit about them. So here, Theric, I'm going to toss it up. You have it. So here's our scouting report.
Yeah. So Lexer of the Nine, he's the Scar Dire Lord. He is going to lead Team Community from the tank position. He is the hater of good. He receives +2 damage bonuses versus all paladins. So if we're fighting anything with any sort of happy or pleasant disposition, Lexer is who you want. He also has the ability of Defend the Night, which means he has a chance to life tap a proc any dark fantasy mob, which, you can see coming in very handy in certain situations. And lastly, Fish Sticks, where he gets a +4 damage versus any dark mirror.
So he's a PvP character. He is totally set up for PvP. This guy's ready to go.
It does seem that way. Yes, it does seem that way.
Wow.
But are you really surprised by that? I mean, come on.
No, I'm not.
Good first pick. They went a different way than I thought. But what they did was they took the only Dire Lord off the board. So they had an idea, right? They had an idea.
That was smart. That was good strategy.
Yeah.
I wonder how that's going to affect the other picks that they make now. Because
that's unbelievable. That's a shocker. That was unexpected. That's no knock on Lexer, but I didn't see that one coming. I don't know what did you guys think?
I obtained a scouting report on Lexer. Now that he's off the board, would you guys like to hear it?
Yeah, let's go. What do you have on him?
Yeah.
I just got this from a scout, so I don't know how accurate it is. It says, Dire Lord, a natural born tank. If you're looking for the meanest, nastiest, frothing at the mouth tank, you can pick Lexer. His tenacity is unmatched by any other tank in the draft. His weakness, he seems fixated on what he calls the remarkable scar bulge. I'm not quite sure what that means, but we'll often tell groups about it when he's leading the dungeon runs.
That's unreal.
Another weakness is at times his unwillingness to deal with confrontation, stemming from an impressive, pro-social, unwavering, empathetic response to other human beings that can often hinder his ability to lead groups. Again,
you got to wonder how he's going to work with that group. I think taking him as the number one pick, you have to build a team around him. You can't just take. So. There's people that aren't going to work with him, right? I mean, that's
true.
Ballsy move.
Work with them.
Yeah, ballsy move, green room.
Literally.
Ballsy move, green room. Literally.
It's a bold move. We'll see how it works out, right?
All right, Theric, who's up?
Okay, well, Nathan, you are on the clock, so I hope you've been thinking about your pick. If you haven't been planning it all already, then you have to make your pick. So when you are ready, DM me your pick, and I will announce it.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, guys.
Remember, DM it to You have to DM it.
I'm
Yep,
sorry.
you have to
sorry.
DM it.
While I'm
He'll-
DMing it, guys, I just want to explain that for people, a lot of people in the community have played MMOs with me. I just want to say I'm all about having some fun. I want an adventure. I don't look for the meta or anything like that. So I want to have a good group that we are guaranteed to have some fun. So
That's a very wise approach.
All right.
Okay.
Is the pick in?
The pick is in.
Right, here comes the draft sound.
Okay. With the second overall pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Nathan Napalm selects Kilson from the DPS class, the rogue from the DPS class.
Kilson, we have the pro scouting report up on the screen. My mind is blown. My mind is blown.
So we talked about how Lexer got a bonus against Dark Mirror. Well, here's your Dark Mirror that he will get a bonus against if this was a PvP situation. So our friend Kilson has one of his abilities is Curse of Tongues, and this restricts spellcasting to using only one word or allowing him to cancel any mob spellcasting. This is something we've seen him use. We know this is an effective tactic and is very powerful in certain situations. So being a VR dev, he also gets instant removal. So Kilson bans creatures from the forums and the dungeon, killing all mobs of the same type around him.
It's a pretty powerful
That's
ability.
OP.
Wow.
I don't know about
that's
this. I mean,
OP.
how can you not pick this guy?
Yeah.
Joppa's
Listen to
gonna
his
nerf
ability.
that. Joppa's gonna nerf that ability.
Yeah, that's
I don't
how.
know. He's one of them. I mean, how can he nerf him?
That's
He's
an
gonna
incredible.
nerf it.
I am blown away by the first picks right now. I had a draft strategy thinking to myself that certain people are going to be gone. My draft team behind me here at Cowboys Stadium is AT&T. They're running around right now. They can't get within 6 feet of each other, so it's very difficult to try to redo our draft. I'm hearing, I don't know what's going on, but Kilson with the number 2 pick, Team Napalm. Napalm, what was the reasoning? What was your thought process here?
Well, I knew for a fact that if Kilson was in our group, that nobody would backtalk or anything. So I know he's a DPS role, but he has a way with just keeping everything nice and organized. And so when I get further, it'll make, as we move forward, it'll make more sense. My strategy will begin to come into play as we move forward.
All right.
I like it. It's something nobody saw coming, but it really speaks to your commitment to winning it.
Yeah.
And look how OP he was. I didn't even know his
Ronick
stats.
just said Kilson went before Joppa. I guess Nathan likes no beads.
Yeah. How can it be anything else? All right, so that means Miletus, you're on the clock. I hope you've been thinking about your pick.
Wow, yeah, my board's destroyed actually. After the
Yeah,
first
you
two
got to
picks.
adjust if you
So,
had other
yeah.
ideas.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm thinking. I'm about to send you my pick.
Okay.
As I do, I want to also kind of speak to what Nathan said. My strategy in MMOs is to have fun with people, and not that sometimes doesn't always mean that I down bosses as efficiently as the next group. So my pick is directly related to just having a good social atmosphere, and my pick is in.
And the pick is in.
Here we go.
Music, please.
There you go.
And with the third pick overall in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Pantheon Dungeon Group Draft, Team Miletus selects Tess.
Oh, he had to.
Yes, that was a great pick.
True to
Absolutely.
his philosophy.
He had to. That was a smart move on so many levels, I think. So let's go ahead and put
The
the
bard.
test scouting report up here. We've done some research, and then we'll get to you for your research there, Miletus. You know her well.
Yeah. So Tess is the halfling bard, and we know that we've enjoyed her videos in which she plays the bard and tells us that she's the bard. She's also the principal, so that's one of her abilities: is go to the principal. She's able to send any mob to the principal's office by mezzing them for 8 seconds.
She's not the
Also-
principal. She knows the principal.
She knows the principal in this book. Yes, that's actually a better ability to not be the principal. It's an upgrade. Okay, and her second ability is standing in fire. She protects all of your group mates from being damaged by fire for 20 seconds. If Tess is also in your party and all party members receive the fire weapon proc. And lastly, the most powerful and also most expensive ability is Miletus. Miletus charms an enemy mob with her stories of old school MMOs.
That's a strong ability set. Now,
It's an OP ability.
She's OP too.
Yeah, she is OP as well. Yeah.
So hold on 1 second, because I
Wizards
think
don't even have to move out of the way. They could just keep casting away and not even worry about the mechanics of the fight or anything.
So here's the thing though. I think, Theric, I'm being told, you might know this, that the third draft pick of the draft, Tess, is available for comment.
She is. She is in the green room. I would suggest bringing her on. We can have an exclusive interview.
All right, go ahead and pull her in here, and we'll see what it means to be the number 3 pick.
Okay.
I got it.
There you go. Okay.
Tess, the number 3 over the number 1 pick of Team Miletus, the number 3 pick in the first round.
Congrats.
What do you have to say?
Well, Miletus, he has a great organization. They have the best RNG in the world. I just feel really blessed. I'm just pumped to get out there in the zones, down some bosses, bring home the loot. So, I'd like to thank all the great raid leaders who have guided me on the way. And of course, my mom. Thanks, Mama Tess. It's all you.
I mean, could anyone have said it any better themselves? Let's be honest.
It was a great acceptance speech. I love it.
Yeah, that sounded very well put together.
Well,
So,
Tess,
Tess,
yeah, go for it.
You are the third pick, so just know that in the contract negotiations, you're not the first pick, so you got to cut a little slack. Okay, so you're coming in on the cheap a little bit because you're the third pick, but I'm gonna take good care of you. You're gonna be in a good team.
First round.
First
Hey,
round.
First round pick. Yeah.
It's
Hey,
still
when you're a
first
free
round pick.
agent, remember it's all about the money. Who the highest bidder.
Where were
Thanks,
you
guys.
selected?
Love you, Tess. Thanks for being on Team
Bye,
Miletus.
Tess. Love you.
love you.
Outstanding.
Fantastic.
Outstanding. So, wow. All right. That one, I mean, with who was off, I feel like that had to happen for a lot of reasons. Not because she's on your
It
team.
had to, because clearly there's one, obviously there's one big chip on the board that I want to take there. But if I stay true to my philosophy of social gameplay, friends, laughter, fun. Well, a lot of people in the community don't know about Tess, and you will once you get to play with her, is while she's a bard, she's like a bard tank. She's like a natural born leader. Her battle cries are legendary in MMOs. Some of the greatest shrieks, yells I've ever heard in my life in an MMO have come from that woman when we have down bosses or accomplished big things. And I can still remember them in the back of my head. And so that's why we play MMOs. We play MMOs for those social experiences. And someone like Tess is really good at facilitating that.
Well, Miletus, you're in trouble because Vandrad will be negotiating the terms and contract.
Oh, great.
So you're
Great. I'm screwed.
You're in trouble. Nathan,
I
what are your thoughts?
I got to call Jerry for some money.
Nathan, is that the first pick you think it made sense? Like that was kind of a make sense pick. What'd you think? Nathan, what do you think?
Lexer or Kilson makes sense?
I mean, did you expect it? I did not expect Kilson to go first round. I'm gonna put no knock on Kilson.
I think we all know who we thought was going to go first, so I think we all made alternate strategies assuming we wouldn't get to pick certain ones,
Yep. All right,
I'm sticking to my strategy.
Kilson, I said, highest upside, but biggest gamble in the entire draft. Coming from a relatively unknown Aussie player league, this rogue could top your meters or be dead last. Weaknesses. For some odd reason, after every boss kill you down, Kilson insists on having a roundtable discussion about how it went down. This severely impairs your group to move through the dungeon in an efficient manner. That's my scouting report.
That's good. That's good scouting.
So yeah, he was not in my first round.
No.
For those reasons.
No offense. Listen, there's 24 of the world's greatest group members. You can't all be first round. All right. So Theric, who's up?
So yeah, well, you are up, my friend.
Okay.
You are on the clock. I know you've been thinking about this, and
This has been
if
tough.
anybody's got this figured out, I'm sure that your pick will be a logical and strong pick. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Yep. So I'm gonna go ahead
are
and
you
play.
ready?
I'm gonna play the sound. Here we go.
Okay. So with the 4th overall pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Minus selects himself minus
Yep.
the rogue from the DPS class,
Yeah. And, I mean, it had to be, right? Kilson's off the board. We got one rogue left. How could I not take How can I not take the rogue? Of course I had to.
Oh my God.
I mean,
I'm not going to be rogueless. Am I going to be a rogueless group here?
How can you argue with? How can you not agree with the man who selects
rogue.
himself?
That's so rogue.
Here's the scouting
that's the
report.
perfect rogue thing.
Here's the official
We
scouting
need the
report.
scouting report because this was not made by Miletus, so we know it'll be
No.
honest.
No.
We know it'll be.
I did not
So
make
Miletus
the
is
scouting
the
report.
adventure halfling rogue that we all love. His skills adjust the meter. So when used, Miletus pulls the green room, and their vote either buffs Miletus with a poison proc or stuns a target mob. And his other abilities include transmog. So a big fan of the transmog, Miletus can copy the look of any creature, allowing Miletus to sneak around the mobs of the same type without being attacked.
Nice.
Yeah, and then his third ability, which is, I'm not sure if this is a great ability or not, but basically kills any elf. Hopefully we go into a place, hopefully this group is led by Miletus, who is taking them to a places that have a lot of elves in them, so that really can really maximize that strength.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a pick. If you can keep him alive, it's a great pick. But I would be worried about how much the group needs to invest in healing.
I need a tank who moves fast. I need a tank who moves fast, or we're all dead. So
you're gonna need a lot. I'm just gonna say that.
Did you have a scouting report on me, Miletus? I mean, I'd be interested to hear yours. So let's go ahead and we'll hear yours.
Okay, here we go.
Bold choice. The great.
Let me scroll down here. Rogue, probably the highest skill ceiling of any DPS in this draft. Fiercely competitive, and will definitely top your meters. However, weaknesses include divided attention while skimming logs, spreadsheets, and running math equations to improve his DPS during actual boss fights. So,
100%.
That's pretty
Also,
fair.
I'd like to mention that with Miletus, every time he backstabs, everybody in the voice chat will know. He'll be like, backstab! I just backstabbed! You will know. You will know.
Well, you guys said that you wanted to have people in your group that would give a good atmosphere. And don't worry, there will always be discussion if I'm in there. All right. Yeah. So Cyrillian says that's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays out. All right. So now we're on the next pick here. We're in round 2. Okay. Well, yes. I'm going to share some insight now because I had my first 2 picks scouted, and I thought for sure the first 2 picks were going to be no problem.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. But they got me because I was going to pick Miletus and then back-to-back Kilson. I was going to take the rogues off the board, dual rogue group, and Team Napalm complete. So what am I going to do? I'm going to stick with the strategy here. So let me go ahead and ping it over here to Theric.
Mm-hmm. Hoarding the rogues.
I was going to.
All right. Well, the pick is in. Play the music. And with the 5th pick, the first pick in the second round of the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Miletus selects Haya from the monk class.
Had to take my boy. If I can't get double rogues, let's keep the melee going. Let's go ahead.
High on the melee. So
let's go ahead and toss that card up, and we'll see the scouting report.
And
looks like you messed up the community. You messed up team community.
All right.
They were wanting him.
So Haya the Tranquil, human monk. So plus minus. If Haya is grouped with minus on the battlefield, Haya gets +2 damage. So he had to take him, right? He had to take him. That's a synergy bonus, right?
I didn't make the cards.
I know you didn't, but you play the game.
Who made these cards? Somebody needs credit.
I think Drac
made all these cards.
Yeah, you got a payoff or something from minus on this. I don't know. Another ability, Feign Death. Haya tricks the mobs into thinking he's dead and they no longer attack him. And then lastly, Flying Kick. Haya channels his EQ monk and flying kicks any mob for 4 damage.
Now, Haya, I know you're in chat. Are you able to come into voice? Are you able to comment on this reunion? We just had, right on this show, we had a reunion. I don't know if you're available, but if not, let us know how you feel in the chat there. But we had a reunion.
Was the first Pantheon Plus show I ever watched. Was you and Haya going?
Yeah, that was how it started.
Classes. Yeah,
that was day one. So I had to pick. I have a melee focus. That's what I want. I want melee. That's my plan. I'm going to roll with here. So no offense, Haya, you were the second pick for what I would have wanted. I wanted Kilson. Wanted to get that dual rogue, but you got to go with what the draft says.
Had you already seen these cards though, Minus?
Yes. Yeah.
That,
I did.
I gotta say, flying kick is pretty underpowered.
It's
4
it's not a
damage.
snake kick.
He's honestly gotten it's no snake kick. With the coronavirus he hasn't really he hasn't been working out, so that's good. The flying kick is more like the flying kick is a little more of like a foot tap right now. We'll get it there. We'll work together. A little dungeon
That's
training.
a great start for a group though. A rogue and a monk. I like it.
There you go.
Very out of the box.
All right, who's next?
Well, Miletus, you are back on the clock with the next pick. And,
Tough decisions here. Oh man, here we go.
Yeah, now it's going to get tricky because now you got to think about, group composition. You got to think about who's been taken and if that screwed up your plans, who's available. And the pick is in. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay.
He made somebody up.
Okay. So the pick is in. So the music is done.
Wait, here we go.
Okay.
All right, it's all you.
Okay, with the 6th pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Miletus selects the Nathan Napalm.
Oh,
Yes,
my.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate
the tank
it.
class, from the tank school, the DPS, or the Paladin class.
Okay.
Strong addition to the team.
Well, there's a lot to talk about here, but before we even get into it, before we hear Miletus's scouting report, let's look at the national scouting report here first. And there we go. So, Theric, it's all you.
Okay. So the Nathan Napalm, the puppeteer, the master of the puppets. Nathan Napalm travels with his faithful army of puppets and can summon them to his side as needed. Power puppet powered. Nathan summons a puppet of good to battle undead minions. And cringe. Nathan Napalm tells a corny joke, healing and hasting all his puppets. So that is really a nightmare scenario of you do not want to face that. If that's in your team, I mean, what can withstand that?
Paladin with pets? Come on.
Unbelievable. That's just overwhelming in a lot of ways.
Can't hold aggro though, so.
Yeah. I hope you have a good tank fund out for your team, Miletus, because you're going to need it.
Good tank. Yeah. So why don't you tell Miletus, what's your thought process here? You drafted you went support with Tess. Now you have your tank. What were your thoughts here?
Well, I'm all about when I start a team, you got to control the battlefield and you have to have a good leader. And so those are my 2 go-to picks almost in any game in a dungeon composition. Those are important to me because you don't have good leadership and communication, things get out of control. And I played with Nathan before, and my scouting report is he's probably the most inspirational tank of all tanks in the draft. So long as you're willing to hear with every pull. Enchanters, CC this mob. DPS, kill order a skull, X, moon. Are we ready? God is good. And with each passing day, we will vanquish these mobs. I'm pulling. Some may find that repetitive. Others, like myself, love it. So again, he adds to that great social experience, and glad for him to be a part of Team Miletus.
Yeah, I want to add in, somebody in chat mentioned the singing ability too. I mean, you're just missing out. I mean, if you don't have that kind of singing ability in your group, you
got to be careful with Tess in there. You have a bard singing. I mean, you're gonna have group conflict if he starts singing.
Well, I mean, imagine what you guys didn't realize is the cringe ability is the singing. Like that's what happens.
Oh my gosh! Tess says she'll harmonize with you, Nathan. So
all right, beautiful.
Beautiful.
All right, who's up?
Turn my volume down. We'll turn.
Who's up? So we had someone. Nathan is not on his own team. We wondered what would happen there. So
I was not picking me.
Poached him. I tried to break that seal.
That opportunity has passed, but yes, no. So Nathan, you are now on the clock as well. Okay. So not only are you a recent selectee, you are now the selector.
I am so happy to get to pick this person. I'm so scared I would lose this person.
I know who it is. I think I know.
Who's it going to be?
It's got to be.
I'm so excited.
Going second round, if this person doesn't go yet, is a Travis.
The pick is in.
All right, let me get you the sound effect here. Okay.
And with the 7th overall pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Nathan Napalm selects Ronick.
Oh my gosh, this is a crazy pick.
You dog!
Dual roll person
had to pick him, man.
Entire draft.
Oh my gosh.
Only dual roll.
Oh my!
Also guaranteed to have fun. Guaranteed, you're gonna have fun. Ronik's in the group.
I just made him all
knows what's gonna
crooked.
happen. Who knows? He might bring the thunder, even though he's a ranger. He might.
He
might
bringing
die.
the ranger, and then he decided not to bring the ranger.
Yeah,
but then he went back, and now he is again.
Yeah, I mean, good luck with that, by the way. I mean, to be honest, Nathan is stacking the devs, but the Ronik scouting, the national scouting card, that's going to be important. Let's see what that says here.
Yeah, let's go over that. Let's go over the national scouting report for Mr. Ronik. So Ronik, who brings the thunder. He's an adventurer, dark mirror, enchanter, but also ranger, apparently. The abilities, the thunder, and we've seen this. We know how powerful
We
this
know.
is. When Ronik pulls aggro on a mob, he must roll a d10. If he rolls an 8 or less, he dies. If he does not die, Ronik commands the mob to do his bidding for 5 minutes. Second ability, he's also a VR dev, which we've seen. So looking at Team Nathan Napalm, this is a VR stacked team, apparently. And his other ability is video newsletter. And so if Ronik, Joppa, and Bentine are on the board, give a +4 damage bonus permanently to all VR devs. So I see the strategy appears to be here.
Okay, all right.
Utilize those synergies.
That's right.
So strong pick.
So Nathan, tell us a little bit about that pick, man. What was going through your head there?
Well, honestly, he was almost my first pick, right?
Wow.
He almost was because I was afraid somebody else would grab him, right? Because we all know that Ronik is, remember when they were showing off the dungeon and he pretended like somebody debuffed him because he missed the jump? You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it's guaranteed fun, man. If Ronik's in the group, it's guaranteed you're going to have a good night. So
I like
had to get him.
You may not get far into the dungeon, but you might have a fun night. So.
You're going to have a fun night.
Oh,
Just
Coach
drink
T in
more.
the set. Coach T in the chat says team cheat button.
Now, the interesting part is at the end when we discuss our group layouts and what we get here, you're going to have to pick what role he's going to fulfill. So you've given your group some flexibility. Miletus, you've done some personal scouting. What was your scouting on Ronik? Because did you expect him to go in round 2?
No, I expect him to go in round 1.
What?
Actually, I was playing reverse psychology with Minus for the last few days, talking about how Ronik's going to be the last pick and nobody should ever pick him and all this stuff because I wanted to pick him. And here's why. Ronik, I'm going to state his weakness first because his weakness is what makes him the strongest pick. He will pull aggro. He will horribly fail at jump puzzles. He will die countless times in your run. But because playing an MMO is about having fun and laughing and social experiences, Ronik is my number 1 pick in DPS. So you just took my number 1 pick off the draft board. From
So you were going to use him for DPS. That's interesting because you had Tess already for support.
As control. I had Tess as control, and I wanted him to be serving the ranger role.
Okay,
but I can't now.
So is it safe to say that Ronik throwing in the last second dual role was a good draft strategy for his camp trying to get him picked? It's pretty good.
I don't think it hurt him.
All right, who's next?
Okay, so the community is next. I have checked in with the community and I have their pick.
Okay, let's go ahead and get that.
You guys are ready?
Yeah.
There you go.
So with the 8th overall pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Community selects Vandrad.
Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one.
From the healers, playing the shaman.
They got their healer and they got their healer and tank already. That's an interesting strategy. So let's go ahead and see. Let's get the nation's scouting report here up first.
Okay, so there is Vandrad the Angry. He is the Scar Shaman. One of the only Scar, I think, in the whole draft. So that might
be Lexer. They got 2 Scar.
Oh, and Lexer, yes, the Scar
group, right. Yeah.
So Vandrad has the ability of singular focus. Vandrad only plays Shaman and gets bonus healing. He has ancient wisdom. He's so old. He's seen it all, done it all. Vandrad adds +2 to his group's melee stats. At never-ending hate, he's increased group discipline. So
I love it.
Those are pretty distinctive abilities, and we all.
The picture is so jacked.
So here's what's interesting. You have 2 people. You have Lexer and if you drafted Lexer, it was really important who you were going to draft to play with him. And I think you found his soulmate.
Actually,
being in the group.
I have some draft notes about that. Would you like to hear?
Yeah,
them?
yeah. Let's go. Let's hear that.
Yes, please. Enlighten us.
And this did not thrill me. Actually, this pick did not make me happy. Let me explain. Vandrad, shaman, wonderful healer support for your group. Vandrad's ability to build vision and lay down some serious hot makes him a top healer in this draft. Similar to Miletus, however, you don't want to pair him with Lexer.
That you had that in your scouting report?
Yeah,
Wow.
Groups should avoid pairing Vandrath with Lexer. Doing so results in discussions of dogs and the scar bulge. Probably too much detail, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh my gosh, it was in the pre-scouting. Did team community just make an incredibly big mistake?
Egregious decision. Horrible decision. I'm telling you guys.
You know what?
Ruin the day. You paired those two guys together.
Wow.
It could go either way.
Wow.
It depends on who else they pick, because that might make or break that group. If they're going with these two personalities right off the hop, could make or break things down
Hopefully
the road.
they stream this when their dungeon run. I would love to see it.
Oof.
Already. We're only 2 deep.
It better
I'd love
be
to see it.
adult tabbed.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
And if anyone does something wrong in that group, may God have mercy on your soul. All right, so we are wrapping into 3 with the snake draft. Now team community is really in the driver's seat here, right? They get the next pick as well, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So it looks like Theric's he is in the green room right now, chatting with them for their next pick. This is going to be a big pick for them.
Okay.
This could turn it.
Yes. So I have checked in with the green room. I checked in. Vanred declined to come on the air and speak about his own selection. So just
Okay.
FYI.
All right.
But they're making a wise choice. So let's go with the next pick. With the 9th, I think it's the 9th. I lost track. Whatever. Pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft. Team Community selects Chris Kane
Ooh.
Good pick.
Grabbed
The
up that
bard.
too.
from the
Oh.
Control.
And he's fitting the anger side too. This group is full of anger.
Oh, you're right. It's another angry man.
This is a
Yeah.
nasty group. This is a nasty group.
They're gonna steal all the mobs, or we're screwed if we're in the same dungeon. They're gonna totally take over.
That was a good pick.
Reckoned with. Oh
That
my
was a
gosh.
good. So here's this group here is going to be yeah. All right, so here is your regional scouting report here. Nationwide.
Okay. Chris Kane is the lore master. He is an elf bard. So Chris Kane is barely mortal. He cannot be limited to 8 actions, so he has 12 slots on his action bar. His first ability is Deep Voice. Chris Kane's voice soothes a mob, and it's mesmerized, taking no actions. He also has lore weakness. So Chris Kane knows the history and weaknesses of every mob and lowers their resistances.
Okay.
So I love
Very
this
nice.
pick. If I was picking a team, this would have been my first pick, because
Ooh.
this is I love this pick, and I'll just say that he might be the sleeper of the draft in my opinion.
Yeah.
Possibly
Yeah,
been
he's pretty
overlooked.
OP. He's pretty
Yes.
OP, and his abilities match the bard really well.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Voice.
I wasn't sure where they were going to go, but now that they've made the pick, it makes absolute sense for that
Yeah.
group.
Yeah,
Their
That
strategy.
was-
I'm trying to look for other angry people that they might pick next.
Yeah. Who's the next angriest person available?
I think I know.
I think I know which group I won't be drafted to.
This is the group that you guys will have to watch coming up in Kill
I'm
Steal
not
again.
taken to that group either for sure. They don't want
I don't fit their play style. I don't think.
no.
Miletus, did you have a scouting report on Chris Kane? Okay, why don't you
I
let-
did.
Okay,
I
let
did.
us know.
Kane is a natural bard, textbook playstyle, and matching skill set. However, his weaknesses are his deep, dulcety tones. You may be asking the question, how could that be? You have to be careful. His tones are so low, so overwhelming. They sometimes obscure the game itself. And your team will have to turn him down in Discord just to hear the game. So his dulcety tones are so powerful that they can obscure the game, and you have to manipulate him in Discord. That's his weakness.
Okay. All right.
That's awesome.
Wow. So you have team community said we don't care about DPS. We're getting all the other roles. So interesting move. That could hurt them.
I don't know. It's a bold strategy.
All right. Who's up next?
All right. So Nathan Napalm, you are up, my friend.
All right. I am ready for this.
You ready? Okay.
I think I'm going to be mad at Nathan
There we
here.
go. So, music, please. With the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Nathan Napalm selects Def, the warrior from the tanks.
That's right.
You put
That's
me
right,
in a
guys.
bad
I think I
spot.
picked the best one. I think I picked the best tank, guys.
I think you just hurt two groups with one stone right there because I was eyeing that pick up.
Yeah, I knew. I was like,
I needed my
worried. I was worried I
warrior.
wasn't going to make it.
Okay, well
Joins
let's
the VR team.
go ahead and pull up the Def scouting report here, Theric, if you want to go after
I
that.
can't wait. I can't
Def
wait.
the Destroyer. He is the dwarf warrior. So community rant. Def takes no damage from any mobs for 20 seconds while the community rants. He also has the two-handed battle axe, double damage on next attack. And lastly, Punk Banner. Def is immune to critical attacks, taunt, and crowd control, and gets bonus HP for 20 seconds. Look at that ability.
OP.
My God, there's like 3 things in there.
That's crazy.
Very, very strong.
What a pick. What a pick.
What
Yep.
a pick. Absolutely.
All right, so Nathan, I mean, you stole that from me. That was on my list.
And me.
So did you have that planned, or did you look at the board and say I need to make this move?
So far, all 3 that I picked so far, it was really hard coming into this. Like, which one am I going to pick first, right? So far I'm getting the exact team I wanted, right? So I'm sure it's something. I'm going to lose somebody that I wanted soon, but you know, I look over, right, and we got Baz Grim left, and we got Ben Dean. Baz Grim's too factual for me. I need a little fantasy in my life.
Too factual.
And Ben Dean shuts things down too quickly. Like, nope, it's over. Shut it down. We're done. The group's over. You know, so I'm really happy I got Def, because Def is a solid group mate.
That was a big pick. Pick. Miletus, what do you got on Def the Destroyer here?
All right, here's what I got. He was 1A and 1B tank. It was Nathan and Def.
Oh boy.
They were split. Here we go. He was my next pick, actually.
Okay.
His intense cussing at mobs causes them to quiver with fear. They literally feared his rants so much they lose hit points just upon seeing him as the tank in your group. Weaknesses: his beard is too epic. At times, he takes his right hand, which is supposed to be on the Naga mouse, and he caresses his beard during a dungeon run, which results in him keyboard turning during the run, reacting poorly to aggro loss, and killing your.
Oh,
So
geez.
that's the.
Now, Theric, I think we have Def queued up to talk about this pick.
Oh,
Is
no.
this true?
He is in the green room. I checked in, and he's muted, and the headphones are muted, so he couldn't hear me. But I can pull him in if you want.
Okay, Def, let's go ahead and let's get unmuted and let's get a
Coming
first round. Let's feel what he thinks about getting picked. Def, I mean, welcome to the show. You're third round, the third tank taken off the board. So, I mean, what are your feelings? Is there disrespect there, Def? I mean, what you're on team Nathan Napalm?
Well, first off, I'm so glad that Nathan realized the best tank in the game is the warrior. So I am thrilled, and our group may die a couple of times, but I'm still the best warrior. I'm the best tank.
But we're not going to die a couple times because of you.
I don't know,
Well-
man. What Miletus said is pretty spot on. I might be pressed with my beard, and I may be not paying attention, and I may be bitching at the mobs, and that may get out of hand, and we may die. So yeah.
So Def, I have a
Alright.
question for you.
Good times.
You're the tank, right? So like a lot of times people think the tank's the leader of the group. You've been drafted to lead this group. But as a tank, there's an issue already forming in your group. Can you protect Ronick from dying? Is that something you're willing to take on?
That
That's
is a huge ask.
insane.
Oh man, that is.
There's a
good
strategy.
question.
Don't worry, man. There's a strategy. I got you.
If Ronick will give me being a part of VR, if he'll give me some good AOE aggro abilities, I think I could pull it off. Maybe
Wow.
Do you think you can hold him to 3 Sunders? Do not attack Ronick. Do not bring the thunder until this mob is under control. Can Ronick count to 15 before he attacks? That's the question.
Well, they may have to reduce my cooldown so I can just,
also, guys, look, I know we got a lot of VR people here, and I get it, right? All tanks are equal, yay, kumbaya. But the warrior is the real tank. We all know. Come on,
warrior is the best, hands down, 100%.
Yeah, and listen, I'm burned. My team, things have been thrown asunder for my pre-draft. My mock draft. I was hanging out with Mel Kiper. And he gave me where he thought everyone. I thought I was set. That guy doesn't know a damn thing. He spends too much time on his hair. So, hey, listen, you got to adapt. That's the name of the game when it comes. I may not be meta, but we're going to get it done. Nathan, great pick. Def, thank you for coming in and giving us some feedback on your pick there.
Thank you.
Shocking. This draft is going in ways we couldn't imagine. So let's go to the next pick here. Who's on the docket here now, Theric?
Next up is Miletus with the next pick. So you let me know when you have that pick in, and I will announce it for you.
I'm considering. Okay, I think I'm ready to send my pick in.
This is where it gets tough. This is where you got to start thinking.
Yeah.
On
Well,
the fly.
this pick is really not tough, but let me send it in.
Okay.
Not a tough pick.
Oh my gosh. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
So, with the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Miletus selects Joppa.
Mic drop, baby. Mic
The
drop.
cleric from the healers. A pick that we thought would go much earlier.
Right.
This is the definition of a value pick, if there is.
Oh, that is a super value pick. Oh my gosh. I was one away from something I couldn't even imagine happening. All right, let's get Joppa's pick up. This is huge. This is huge. So what do we got?
Yeah. Well, certainly one of the most powerful. He is called Joppa the All-Powerful. He is the adventurer, the human cleric, and his strengths, his abilities, soundtrack. Joppa inspires all adventurers with amazing music, removing all debuffs and crowd control.
Ooh.
Also a VR dev, very powerful in and of itself. Last ability is Vision. Joppa remains true to the Pantheon Vision and gives all your allies an HP buff and an armor buff. Oh, man. That's that. What else do you want in a group member, right?
No doubt.
Wow. I mean,
Yes.
Miletus, hats off to you. I mean, who
Steal the
thought
draft.
Joppa would be sitting here
Steal
in
the
round
draft.
3? End of round
Deal
3.
with the draft.
So what's your
That's
scouting
great.
report on that one?
So, okay. So I want to explain to my new team member, Joppa, why he wasn't my first pick, actually. Because clearly, right, everyone in watching this and everyone drafting, he's the obvious pick. So Joppa's strengths. The best healer in the draft, bar none. However, he has elite skill sets that need to be leveraged with your group composition, which is why I didn't pick him first. I needed to make sure I got a couple pieces in place with such high knowledge, profound confidence, and intellect about all things Pantheon. This can cause confidence problems for some tanks, but not my tank, Nathan Napalm. Must be paired with a high confidence tank or your dungeon crawls will suffer. Also, he has been caught attempting to cast bard spells on multiple occasions for some strange reason while he plays cleric, which works well because he's paired with Tess. So he's got a bard because he was a former music teacher in a former life, I believe.
Yes.
And so he's paired with Tess, so he has that music teacher with him who also can share her bard spells. And then he's got a strong tank in Nathan, so I'm thrilled. I just had to wait and make sure that he wouldn't be overpowering to another tank.
I can't help but say this, Miletus, about your pick. I realize your strategy. You're surrounding me. You're trying to teach me how to sing. That's what you're doing.
We
You're
do
my
have a
friend
very
song.
singing.
Wow. Yes.
That's what he's doing here.
I think our group's going to be called the Singing Dungeoneers or something because, yeah, we're all musically inclined at this point.
So before we go to the next pick, we actually have the first pick of the draft. When he got picked, there was press everywhere. He had a lot of stuff he had to do. The pick was such a big deal. He couldn't even come on our show. He couldn't even come on to talk about it, but we do have Lexer available to talk about what it feels like to be the first overall pick. Do we want to bring him in and hear about that now?
Let's do it.
I will bring him in.
What's going on, Lexer? How are you?
Hey, fellas, how's it going?
Hey, Lexer.
Congratulations on the #1 overall pick.
Oh, I know. Wow, that was the first time I got picked first for anything in my life.
All your dreams are coming true.
I know. I'd like to thank Jesus, baby Jesus, and baby Joppa.
Everyone wants to see your. Everyone wants to see your card again. Hold on, everybody wants the Lexer card to come back up while he's here, just so people can see it again. So Lexer, the interesting thing is, most people come on when they're drafted. You would have been drafted onto a blank team by the community, by the way.
Yeah,
but now
you would have thought that.
Yeah, but now you actually can see, like, your team's half drafted. So
I know, right?
What are you thinking of your team? There's a lot of anger on your team.
Hell yeah! Let the hatred flow.
It's unbelievable, unbelievable. So Lexer, I mean, congratulations. You're gonna be making the big bucks. #1 overall.
Yeah, baby. I already put a Twitter post out. I gotta brag while I got the chance.
Now, is there any chance you're gonna hold out on team community, or do you think they're gonna be able to fulfill your needs?
From what I'm seeing, I don't think I could be happier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
How can you go wrong with that group? What is the first thing you're going to buy with your huge signing bonus for you as being the #1 overall pick?
A really big sword to stab halflings and elves with.
Oh. Well,
I can get behind the elf thing. Yeah, so.
They may run fast scared, but I run faster when I'm angry.
Nice. You've got the bard in your group to help you too. So
exactly.
Speed you up.
Well, Lexer, congratulations and thank you for coming in and #1 pick.
Yep. Thank you very much, gentlemen, to all those who voted Team Lexer. Love your faces.
All right. So we have our #1 pick was able to come in and talk a little bit about this situation. So Theric, looks like Team Minus is up next, I believe, right?
Team Minus is back on the clock, and with the back-to-back picks, always an interesting strategy is how you're going to do this. So
well, I'm going to be completely honest with everybody. My pipe dream here was to take Joppa and Def. That was, if I could have got Joppa and Def, we would have been good to go. We would have been, that would have been the deal. That would have been great. Right. But we're not getting that. So the strategy is completely thrown for the loop here. I need to figure out what we're going to do here. So the next pick here, let me go ahead and link this to you. That's going to be our next pick there.
Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, music please.
Here we go.
With the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Minus selects Brass from Team VR, the Cleric.
Yeah, I wanted Joppa.
Solid pick.
I wanted Joppa, but you
solid.
know what? I'm sitting here and I'm our draft team is a little upset with how things are going. But then we started to think, wait a second. Maybe this was meant to be. Because we have Brass in our group. We all like to drink. Haya and myself can't play an MMO without drinking, and we just got probably the best bartender healer in the world.
And dwarven accent in the world too. Don't forget dwarven accent.
Yeah, best accent for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna be. We may not know where we are, but we're gonna be there. Okay.
I just hope Brass is ready for the workload that she just inherited with this team.
I have a strategy for that, so don't worry. So let's go ahead and let's throw up Brass's card here.
Yes.
So if you want to read her, read everybody their
Yes.
national scouting.
So Brass is the barkeep. She is the dwarven cleric that you want in your group. Her skills include another pint. Brass invites you to sit and talk over a great beer, and both of you regenerate your health to full.
Ooh,
He's
wow.
also a VR dev, so he has that. And other ability is Scottish. Brass lets loose a Scottish battle cry that causes all of our allies to have +1 attack, which we've all seen on stream, and we've seen how powerful that is. So a strong pick, I would say.
So
definitely.
So Miletus, I mean, what's your you had your individual scouting. You paid big bucks for that. I mean, you hired an agency. You didn't want to trust the national. You went and got, your own look. So what did they say?
Here's the tough part. She was a tough scout. Here's why. Cleric, her ability to speak dwarf buffs the party with joy and confidence. Hard to go wrong with this pick. 0 weaknesses.
No!
She was the one healer of all the healers that had no weaknesses in the scouting report. So you got the best one. You got the best one according to my scouting report. Congrats on the pick.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Like I said, I think we're reevaluating our original plan, but we're really happy with where we're going here. So we have a solid group right now. So now it comes on the board again here for the next pick. And
we're back on the clock again with the snake draft.
This is really difficult. This is a really difficult pick with knowing I'm not going to get to pick now for almost 8 picks. Because you get to pick 2, but remember, you don't get to.
You gotta wait.
This pick is really important, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
so let me go ahead and fire this over to Theric. I think I know what we're looking at.
All right. Music, please.
Let's get it going here. Give me a second. Here we go.
With the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Minus selects Medaki, the Shaman from the Healers.
Yep.
Second member of VR onto Team Minus. Trying to keep up, it seems, with Team Nathan Napalm.
Yep. So let's go ahead and throw up Medaki's card here. And if you want to read out the stuff here with him, and then we'll get into some detail here.
Medaki, the support. He is the Ogre Shaman. His strengths include questions. Medaki fixes your technical support problems, healing your frustrated feelings over time. It takes a while, but your frustrated feelings will go away over time. He's one of the VR devs. He is the backbone of VR. Medaki supports the Pantheon community and provides strength, movement speed, agility, HP, and armor buffs. Oh my gosh. Is there any buff he does not provide?
Yeah.
Great pick.
Yeah. Team community really needed him on their team with all that.
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
Yeah, with all the anger that they would have, he could help.
Anger. So.
Yeah.
Oh, there'd be a lot of hurt feelings on that team.
Yeah.
So here we go. So this was difficult. I'm a big fan of a shaman in the control role. If you have enough to kill quickly, you get the debuffs out there, you get the slows, you debuff these mobs down as much as you can, and you wreck them. That was my goal here. I wanted a shaman. He was the last shaman on the board. Vandrad was taken early. So I think that, we have our power healer. We're going to put Medaki into a support role as a shaman. That's how we're going to kind of relabel him, so to speak. Let's get the mobs weak, and let's let me and Haya wreck them. I don't know who's tanking yet, but we'll figure that out.
Yeah. A little bit of a need for your group still.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on, Team Miletus, you are up.
Okay. Before I do, would you guys like to hear my scouting?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Apologies.
Oh no, it's okay. Let me scroll up. I gotta find him here. There he is. Hold on. His affinity for ogre is both admirable and at the same time concerning. A strong shaman support player, but after wipes, he keeps stating things like, the boss is always right. Follow the golden rule. And the dungeon team is confused by his customer service oriented statements, and they can't figure out how to move forward. So anyway, that's his weakness. All right, my pick. Oh man, this is actually not tough at all. Actually, here we go.
Okay.
It's coming your way.
Okay. Okay. Next pick is in. Music, please. With the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Miletus selects Micah.
Oh, okay.
The elf. The elf.
Team
What is
Mil-
it? Can I remember? The elf
I had to
right.
save him partially from Minus. I didn't want him joining Minus's team and him player kill him.
Yeah, you might
frag
have
his own
killed
team
my
member.
own group would have killed him.
Oh wow! So Micah gets picked. Let's go ahead and throw his card up. Let's see what the scouting reports look like, and then obviously we'll go to Miletus here. But
Okay. So Micah is Micah the Great. He is the elf druid. He does stuff all the time. So Micah's mana and HP regeneration is doubled. He has the ability of another plant. Micah adds another plant to his collection, allowing for greater healing. He also has the ability to make it grow. Micah's plants are growing, allowing for greater AoE healing. So that's a strong ability. It's something that I was thinking maybe might work in Nathan and on. Actually, no, it works for your group there, Miletus, because Nathan has all those puppets. You need AoE healing. What a great pick.
Yeah,
it's gonna work out pretty well. This is smart.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can envision Micah in the, I envision Joppa in the pure healing role, and I envision Micah in more of a support where he does some DPS, some support, some heals, kind of a very fluid, dynamic player that can serve in lots of different roles. He was, in my mind, well, first of all, part of my reasoning, I have to be honest, is I could not, as a similar human being, send them to that community team. There's no way in hell I could let that happen. That's part of me.
What a misfit. Oh my god.
Part of me is like, I could not let my brother Druid deal with that. That was the one. And I didn't want to. And Nathan had been fine, but God, if he had gone to the community team or Miletus' team, I really worried about his mental and physical health. So I had to pull him onto my team for that reason. And another reason, he's the most empathetic and patient healer of the entire draft. His love of nature and botany in real life spills over to the game. However, he's got weaknesses, which is why he should never be paired with me. Like Miletus, Micah often wanders away from the group, curating flora and casting Vine Woven Bridge to help out random players traversing Terminus, and often that results in his group wiping because he's building bridges instead of actually healing his group. So, but I think we can make it work with the group, and he'll be a great addition to Team.
Do you guys realize what's happened on the board? We, not intentionally, unless someone out there, Nathan or Miletus, unless you guys are trying to sabotage Team Community, what happened? They need a healer.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Poor
what happens?
There's one left.
What happens to Lexer if Yarn is selected? What is going to happen to that group?
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're not supposed to be in the same group. I think there's going to be a counter debuff there.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what happens here. So who knows? Micah, if you're out there and you want to come on and talk about this pick, please jump in the green room. We'll be glad to have you on. Interesting. I have no idea. Oh, we do. They have Vandrad. What am I talking about? They do have a healer. The shaman. I don't know why I didn't say that. So they do have a healer. So that's going to be some interesting stuff going on here. Very interesting. So let's go ahead and we are moving on, right? So who's next?
Okay. Nathan Napalm is on the clock. And when you have your pick, let me know.
All right.
Oh, and the pick is in. Okay. So, music please. With the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Nathan Napalm selects Sacred, the Summoner.
Good pick.
All right.
From the DPS class.
So we got...
I got to say that I really wanted to get Joppa and Sacred on the same team for ultimate fun, but I didn't get Joppa in time. So
now you have Ronick and Sacred on the same team.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
That's actually going to be a problem, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. We're going to have to talk about what Ronick says about this. But here, let's go ahead and see Sacred's card here first. So,
okay. Sacred of the Rainborn. He is the Archive Summoner for your group. His abilities include instant dev. Sacred is a VR dev for 7 days. He also has the ability of leprosy. Sacred can summon his alter ego Leper to help him run the guild for a while. And lastly, summon Rainborn. Sacred summons 3 loyal members to the Rainborn Guild to assist him.
Oh, nice. Wow. That's an OP ability.
He's a VR dead for 7 days.
You have to wait on a cooldown for that, apparently. It comes back. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh man.
So look at that team. Look at all the DPS on that team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a smart move. It's a smart move.
So, Miletus, what's your scouting report on Sacred?
Here we go. Scroll down here. Mark him off. Summoner strengths, probably the highest skill set due to his extensive experience as one of the first streamers of Pantheon. Weaknesses. During wipes on bosses, Sacred sometimes unconsciously reverts back to his Marine Corps bootcamp training and may be perceived as slightly intimidating. Calling out assignments, he frequently demands that players in his group respond, "Sir, yes, sir," whenever they given an assignment in the group. That's my scouting.
Now, guys, I think Sacred is available for comment on this pick.
Oh, good.
I think he thought he was going to go earlier. I'm curious to see what the attitude is like in that room. You know, he's probably got his family around him. They probably didn't think they'd be sitting there this long. Let's go ahead and bring Sacred in. I'm going to drag him into the room. Let's get his thoughts on joining Team Napalm in the 4th round. Sacred, welcome to the draft. Are you excited? How do you feel?
So
He's lost for words.
yeah, we were gonna go first round, first pick overall, and so we started a little early
The
tonight,
beers are cracking.
and now that we see we're on, Ronik's, I mean, are you serious? Like, come on now, you gonna put me up for failure like this right out the gate? I mean.
Unhappy with this pick.
I thought you could maybe help make sure Ronik brings the thunder and not the corpses.
I mean, you're asking an impossible task of a simple man here. I mean, there's only so many expectations that can be put on me as soon as I walk in the door here. And obviously, I got Kilson and Ronik. Now, I know you said Kilson was going to be the fun one of the group. You haven't played with Kilson in the group, obviously. I've been there.
It's true.
You know what?
See, I can hear the Marine Corps.
work.
I can hear the
We'll
Marine
make it
Corps
work.
bubbling up in him as we speak now.
Man.
It's already channeling it. Oh my goodness.
I'm getting him prepared so we can switch him to Team Community where he belongs because he's getting so angry. We just swap him down real quick, ready to
You
go.
need to talk to his agent about a trade or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna be talking to my agent real quick after this.
See if we can work out.
Discussions.
Well, my team, now I don't know if you guys will ever get to see the details of this because it can easily be declined, but my draft team has come together and behind the scenes here, we have submitted a trade request directly to Team Napalm. So there's a trade request in. I don't know if he's going to accept it, and we may not ever hear any more of it, but there is a trade request on the board. Again, not sure it's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here with that trade request.
Okay. Well, if that trade does occur, you make sure to let me know. I
Yep.
will announce it.
Yep.
Okay. Are we ready for the next pick?
Yep.
Okay. So up next is Team Community. I have checked in with Team Community and we have the pick. So music, please. With the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Community selects your one and only announcer, me, from the
Nice.
DPS, the Ranger of your dreams.
All right. So Theric gets picked up. Well, Theric, it's kind of interesting that you're going to have to read your own scouting report here from the nation, but I don't know that you weren't involved in this. You're just the host. So
I wasn't. Why don't you read it, Minus? I'm going to feel weird reading my own.
okay. So let's talk about the national report here from Theric, the lore guide. His knowledge for lore allows him to lull any mob that's not attacking him. He's always prepared, and this allows him to switch armor or weapon even while in combat. That's pretty legit. And he is a rogue hunter. Rogues cannot hide from Theric. And so Theric cannot be backstabbed or sneak attacked. And he does 2 damage to all rogues. So
That's a good thing because he might get backstabbed in that group had he not had that ability.
When they told me that I was being their pick, I was like, great. I was like, that's great. Thank you guys. And I'm like looking at the team. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh man, this is going to be some managing I have to do here. Yeah. No, but you know what? If we go to Black Rose Keep, I'm your guy. You know, all those rogues in there. Oof. We got it under control. But I just want to say I'm very honored to be selected by the community as their pick. It is a great thing. I've been keeping myself in tip-top shape for MMOs. I want you to know you're getting a highly trained. I'm always focused, and I will do my best for the team. So thank you.
Now, I know he's our co-host, Miletus, but again, you have your scouting report there. So let us know.
I do have the scouting report. Actually, he was my number 2 DPS in the group, only behind Ronick. It was Ronick 1, Theric 2. Theric's ability to role play through your adventure is his strongest attribute as a player. This is particularly true when you play through Black Rose Keep. He will narrate your path in a way that naturally boosts your group's morale. His only weakness is that dungeon runs may last up to 5 hours with his additional narration. He was my next pick. He was number 2 DPS on board.
Yes. We will spend 5 hours in Black Rose Keep until everybody can answer a quiz about all the things that are in there. And until
you on Team Miletus, you would have gladly fit in very well.
But see, I have Chris Kane in my group too, so keep that in
mind. That's true.
You know what? True. Everybody worried about team community like coming up on our camp and stealing it. They're gonna be way behind. You got
Guys,
Chris and
get
Theric.
all the perception dings. They've got both.
That's
the
right.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be
all
slowed
the
down.
perception dings.
Exactly. Every quest, it's all ours.
All right. It looks like the trade is not yet going through. We're trying to negotiate a better deal for Nathan. He's declining. He's declining the trade. Yeah. Check your team has been sent a message in Discord. It's a private message. They're trying to communicate with you. There's a big package on the board for a trade it's a pretty big deal. So we'll see what happens here.
We have a few more turns to think this over. Okay.
Yeah, we have a couple more turns. So, Theric, who's up next?
Yes. Next up is community, and I've checked in with again, and the pick is in. So music.
Here we go.
And with the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Community selects Drac Attack.
Oh, the other summoner.
The summoner. Right?
Yes. All right. So they've got their DPS. Now they're really sitting in a nice spot here.
This is a nice looking group so far.
Look at that.
Look at the composition.
Group.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So, So are we Drac Attack
let's
is in
get
the green
Drax. Let's get Drax's card up first, and then we'll get Drac in here as well.
Forgot about that part. So Drac Attack made these cards, so I expect this card to be very good. Drac Attack is the collaborator. He is your archive summoner for your group. Drac Attack summons a Pantheon profile for an adventurer in your group while giving them a damage shield. He also has the ability to summon graphics. Drac Attack creates a custom graphic pet to do his bidding. And lastly, promotion. Drac Attack shares your stream on Twitter, summoning 2 more viewers to help with the battle. 100%. And I think he left off an ability on there. Drac Attack has his kids, and as his strength, his secret weapon is his kids, who have made an appearance in several of his promotional materials. So, yes, great pick.
Hold on, I want to make sure with Nathan here.
Oh, I think trade discussions are going on. Is that what's happening?
Nathan. I'll give my scouting report as they work out their trade negotiations for Drac. Drac is a natural-born multitasker, making him one of the strongest summoners in the draft. Unfortunately, Drac is also a Twitter influencer. His tweets are unleashed on the world with veracity. There may be times when you need one of his pets to accomplish a task in a dungeon, but he might be tweeting. Be cautious with Drac in dungeons. That's my official scouting report on Drac Attack. Multitasking Twitter influencer. Watch out for Drac.
He is the summoner that will put your group in a good spot most of the time. Yes. Very
okay,
strong,
so let's get Drac
strong.
in before we have some breaking news, but let's get Drac in here first. And let's hear about what Drac has to say for this. Now, I know that he had a fan group that really was pushing for him to be first overall. So let's go ahead and put him into here. So, Drac, what's going on, man? How does it feel? You were in round 5 to Team Community.
Listen, I'm just so happy to be part of Team Community. You know, there's preparation. That's where the separation happens. I just want to play for my team. I just want to be here for Team Community because they're the best team. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being there. Thank you, Team Community. I'm just going to put on the hat and I'm out.
Oh my
There you
god. That was powerful. That was like a
That
mic
was.
drop. Oh my
Jeez,
gosh.
he's ready to go. He doesn't care where he's at as long as he gets the fight. So there's been a
We have
pretty
some
big-
breaking news.
breaking news. So let me get the sounder here.
Okay, we have a trade to announce. So in this trade, Team Nathan Napalm receives Haya and the next minus
Oh.
pick for
What?
Kilson and Sacred. So this is a player and a pick being traded for two players.
Wow.
And,
Very complicated.
Yep. So Haya moves up. I only
You
have one
dissed your
pick.
boy? You
Listen,
sent your boy
listen.
packing?
We had to do this.
Wow.
Listen, Sacred wasn't happy with the group makeup. I decided this was the better deal for him. I'm all about my group members, not myself and my personal gain. So, thought this would be better for everybody.
Wow.
Big trade,
Big trade.
sacrifice. It means I'm not going to get to pick my last pick until second to last, where I was going to have back-to-back picks, but now Nathan's going to be able to round out his team early. So Nathan, I think you're also now on the board.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Nathan, you are on the board. So send me your pick when you are ready.
All right.
Yeah, you are going to get two. You have 3 picks coming up here.
Yes. Okay. The next pick is in.
Okay, let's get the sounder here.
With the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Dungeon Group Draft, Team Nathan Napalm selects Yarnilla,
Hmm.
There
the
we go.
last of the healers.
Got the cleric healer. Let's go ahead and throw up. Yarn's card here, show where he lands. And let's get Drax off the board because I still have that up for some reason. There we go.
Okay. Hold on. I gotta find the card. There it is. Okay. So Yarnilla the host, he is your Dark Mirror cleric for your team. His skills include being Pantheon patient. After 4 years of VOT and putting up with Lexer, Yarnilla can now drain mana from enemy mobs. He is the host with the most. As the VOT host with the most, you give other adventurers in your party health and mana regen. And lastly, he has Dark Mirror healing. Yarnilla gets bonus healing while he's underwater. So take him to those underwater zones and you'll benefit.
So what do you got on him, Miletus? I know you've you got these out there.
Yarnilla the cleric, the OG healer of the draft. Don't let the fact that Yarnilla has been training for so long this draft. He's still in his late prime and a solid pick. His lone weakness has nothing to do with his skill, but everything to do with his computer, which is worse than Boom's Dell Alt. 2 options here for anyone who drafts Yarnilla. Be cautious or have your group create a GoFundMe and buy him a new rig.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
So true.
So interesting thing brought up by the chat here. They're analyzing this trade. I think there's people that may say it's a lopsided trade in one way or the other. Haya just got into smoke. He didn't even know. Haya found out on Twitter that he was traded. He didn't even find out from the organization. Now, here's an interesting thing that was brought up here. And it was brought up by, by Ronik. And Ronik, who's on your team. So, Nathan, you brought up why this trade was possibly considered for you. Ronik said you had to give up Kilson for anyone to take Sacred. This team was literally together for minutes, but yet there's already an HBO documentary being formed about some of the relationship issues on Team Napalm. It looks like you avoided something well. It looks like people are in a good place. You gave up a first round pick to get rid of Sacred because it just wasn't meshing. But now you're going to be able to finish your team in the 5th round instead of waiting all the way till the end. So it sounds like it's a good deal. So
yeah. And it's going to work out. It's going to work out.
All right. So who's up next
Very
here?
interesting. Next up is Team Miletus.
All right, here we go. Easy pick.
Okay, pick is in.
Let's get the sounder.
And with the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Miletus selects Surfer Dave.
Had to.
Surfer
Wizard.
Dave.
Man,
From
I
the
wanted that
DPS
wizard.
class.
I wanted that wizard.
Got the last DPS on the
Yeah,
board.
had to pick that DPS class. Little
The only
lopsided
wizard.
group. Yep.
Mhm.
Only wizard.
Only wizard on the board.
So let's
The
go ahead
only
and
wizard on the
pull.
board is a very, very good pick.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah.
important.
Let's go ahead and throw up Surfer Dave's scouting report here, Theric, if you want to read that over.
Okay. Yes. So Surfer Dave is the streamer. He is your human and only wizard of the draft. His abilities include Raging Fireball. Super Dave channels his inner anger and hurls a fireball at an enemy creature. He also has the ability of Surf's Up, which Surfer Dave surrounds himself with a wave of water and receives no damage for 10 seconds. And lastly, Elemental Maelstrom, massive AoE that hurts all mobs in a large area. So, strong abilities.
So
Very
Miletus,
nice.
you made the pick. What was the scouting report there? Was that someone you were
Okay.
hoping would fall? I mean,
you think about it. Joppa and Surfer Dave, my two value picks so far, hands down.
Yeah.
All right. Here's my scouting report on Surfer Dave. And I have to say, the picture of Surfer Dave on his card is a little inaccurate because Surfer Dave is always rocking the dreads, which is going to be important to my scouting report. So listen up. Wizard. Not only will Surfer Dave bring the magic deeps to your group, he shows up with absolutely the best tan of anyone present. He shows up with drinks from the tiki bar, and his ability to cosplay is his greatest strength of the group. His dreads, however, are also his greatest weakness. Sometimes the dreads get caught inside his Razor Naga mouse when he's casting, causing a significant DPS loss. So as long as he could trim the dreads or keep the picture that you guys have up there, we'll have no DPS loss. We'll be great. Tiki bar drinks.
Is that
Yeah.
the first RL debuff? Like the debuff's not in the game; it's in real life.
Oh, he's
You
so
gotta-
much
you gotta make
fun.
some
We're gonna have a fun.
sacrifices.
It's a fun
It's
group.
gonna be so much fun.
Look
All
at
right.
that. Yeah. Great pick. So I believe, are we on to the next pick?
We are on to the
Now,
next
this-
pick. Yeah.
This
So
is Nathan Napalm again because
Nathan's going to get the next two picks, actually.
Wow.
Oh, the next two picks.
Yeah, because he's going to end up, he's going to finish up
Yeah,
his
that was
group, and I
part of
take
the,
his,
deal.
I take his second to last pick. So
Okay. Well, the next pick is in. So give me the music, please. With the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Nathan Napalm selects Miletus,
Oh,
the Druid from the Healers.
all right.
Yes. Thank you, Nathan.
We got
so
their
much.
second healer.
I was so worried. I was literally having anxiety attacks about
This is the part of the draft where the camera
'Cause he didn't want to pick
focuses in on
himself.
you and you're crying a little bit. Your family's hugging
Oh
you.
God! It was going to be therapy session after therapy session if I slipped to that community group. So
Let's get the
Thank you.
national scouting report, then we'll hear from
Thank you.
Miletus himself.
Please bring
Oh,
up the
God.
Miletus scouting report. So Miletus is your devout druid of your class. He is the elf druid. At the start of every battle, Miletus realizes he should have played a cleric, and he's stunned for 15 seconds. Much like Tess, he also has the stand-in fire ability where you protect all of your group mates from being damaged by fire for 20 seconds. If Tess is also in your party, all party members receive a fire weapon proc.
Oh wow!
Ooh, the
man.
synergy, the synergy. And lastly, psychoanalysis. Miletus knows what mobs will do before they even do it. Miletus is able to place a proactive heal buffs on adventurers about to take damage. So
nice!
Pretty
I love
active.
my abilities.
That's good.
Damn, I
man.
should have picked me. It's gonna be that good.
how did you not scout yourself?
I mean, wow. Yeah, my scouting report's quite different than what you just read. I'm just throwing it out there for everybody.
So wait, you
underpower
actually
yourself.
paid money to have someone scout you independently.
Yeah, I did because I
Wow,
wanted
that-
an objective opinion.
I'm interested to
like
hear
it?
that. I mean, how do you
You guys
take
like
that?
to hear it?
I would
Yeah.
love to
All
hear
right,
that.
here. It's kind of tough for me to read, but you guys will just bear with me. I'll grin and bear it. Here we go. Miletus, a hopeless utopian idealist of a player. Loyalty is his strength. He will never leave your party high and dry, but he may lack in the highest skill set for healing in this group. Has shown in the past to have a natural deficit when healing Lexer and should not be paired with Lexer in any group
Dodged a
going
bullet.
forward, as he allowed him to die in Vanguard many times. Avoid grouping these two together if possible. He also often wanders from the group to buff and aid random players not relevant to your group in any potential way, causing wipes to your party. So that's the objective scouting report.
What's interesting is that one of the things that wasn't said, that this may help your group because you do have yarn in your group. The one thing that I've witnessed in my own personal scouting of Miletus, if he's healing you, you have to be careful because he may be in melee range, just doing damage, not paying attention to anything. But luckily,
as a druid, which is really a bad idea.
It's strange.
As a cleric, decent idea.
Yeah, but
that's where the stun's going to come in.
Yeah, he might. So, but the good news is you do have yarn to kind of back that up on the side there. So.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you for the pick. Glad to be a part of the team.
Something that wasn't mentioned, it was mentioned, but it wasn't profoundly mentioned, was that with his psychoanalysis skill, that does mean that the dispositions are useless against my party. He already knows their disposition immediately.
No, at all.
Psychoanalysis. So
Very good point.
Okay. All right. Interesting. So, Nathan, with the big trade, you're going to be the first one to finish your group now. So you're on the clock again here.
All right, here we go.
And the pick is in. Music, please. And with the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Nathan Napalm selects Booch, the Bard from the Control class.
Got the Bard. So
nice pick.
Interesting. So let's go ahead and let's get the Booch card up on the screen here. Let's get what are they saying about Booch here? We got a Bard in the group.
Well, Booch is the gamesman, as everybody knows, and as I love to refer to him. He is your human bard for your class, for your group. His abilities include digest. Booch must be stationary for 4 seconds. And then receives an HP buff and resistance bonuses to poison and chemicals. I love it. His next ability includes PlusYou. He's a valuable contributor. Booch can regenerate mana and any other adventurer. So. And lastly, gamesmanship. Booch sings a song that raises all adventurers' game, granting bonuses to all resistances and movement speed. So you not only can you resist everything, you are fast. Man, I wish Booch was on our team, on Team Community. I have to say, Booch has never been beaten by another man. I'll just say that. Strong pick, Nathan.
Oh, that was a good pick there. That was a good pick. So, all right. So, Miletus, what are you thinking?
This is a tough one. This is a tough loss. That's right. And you'll understand why. Booch will be a strong ally in any party. Not only will he control well, his pure love of trade skills means that your party will have the best food, the best buffs, and the best supplies money can buy. Booch will have the best trade recipes. The only weakness he has is sometimes during dungeon runs, Booch does AFK as he's multitasking, designing some kind of mechanical improvement to his Triumph Spitfire. That's it. That's his only weakness. He's working on his car kind of on the side. But other than that, he's a great addition to any team.
I love it.
And Sacred said, the dude has a Rocky poster in the background. So, I don't know if you guys caught that.
100%.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Look at that. You got Rocky and Jaws. And I can't tell what the other two are. Indiana Jones, Raiders Last Ark.
Oh man, that's like
Some
the
culture.
man cave to end all man cave.
Yeah. So that's a
but in my group, it's all about the thrill of the fight. So perfect.
So let's do. We have the first group fully done.
Yes.
So let's look. Nathan, go over your group here. Let's talk about roles. You're gonna have to make a decision on what Ronik's gonna be doing here. You have a pretty balanced group here.
Yeah, I really do. Here's the deal. Even though it's my group, I don't like to tell my players what to do. I don't like to tell my group and the people playing with me what to do. So if Ronik, I believe he's still in chat. What do you want to do, Ronik? It's up to you, man. You can be an enchanter. You can be a ranger. Choice is up to you, my friend. I quoted that from that old sitcom.
I feel like he's got to be a ranger. You need that deeps. You're only going to have poor Haya pulling all the deeps. So
Sacred says he can do anything but live.
So either way, he's still going to be pulling all the deeps. But
looking for Thunderlord as an option, apparently.
Thunderlord is that?
He wants the third option.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if he's here. Is he not here? He might not be here.
He might have just went out to party after he got drafted. Start cashing.
Yeah, that's understandable. He's already drunk. All right, so I'll pick for him unless he pops in. All right, so I've got a monk. That's a lot of DPS. It's Hayah. He could also act as an off tank. I've seen him do it many times.
Great puller too. He's a great
awesome
puller.
Puller, tank, whatever you need him. DPS. We are a little rough on DPS though. So yeah, if he doesn't interrupt, then I'm gonna go with Ranger. As long as he's alive, we get a little more DPS.
Okay, all right. It's Brass here says that Ronik is probably just dead right now. If we're being serious, pretty hard to answer the question. He's finding his corpse right now, and he's not even sure which one it is.
I love that. By the way,
he doesn't know if he's looking for a ranger or if he's looking for a enchanter.
Guys, I gotta mention, by the way, one of my favorite moments ever in the in all the streams by VR was the time, and I don't remember exactly what was happening because I've seen them all so many times, but I just remember that they turn around, they're like, Ronik, why are you even dead? Like, he was just dead for no reason. There was no mobs.
Well, Ronik has decided, by the way, he wants Ranger. He wants the group to be, he's thinking about the group before himself.
Ranger. I like it. Okay, so we were on the same wavelength, too. We both thought Ranger. Good.
Beautiful.
Solid group, good healing. You got support, you have healing, you have a tank ready to jump in and do whatever he wants to do. And then you have Hayah DPSing sometimes by himself. So pretty good group. Solid. Yep. You're not going to die.
After the group is over and we're wrapping up, there'll be a long talk for many hours afterwards, thanks to Yarnilla being in the group.
Okay. Yeah. Strategy session. That lasts all night.
Who's up for picking next?
Okay, so next on the clock, we are going back to Miletus. Team Miletus on the clock for your final pick in this 2020 draft.
Tough one. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Here we go.
And the pick is in.
Okay, let's get to the... There you go.
Oh, with the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Miletus selects Janus the Enchanter from the Control class. Control Skull.
Hey.
Love it.
So let's go ahead and get Janus's card up here. Another value pick, I feel like.
Yeah, they have CC on lockdown.
Very much so.
That's a good group.
Janus, the all-knowing, and I think of the best picture, I would think we would all agree of all these cards.
That's awesome.
He is your human adventurer, or human enchanter for your group. His abilities include Reddit power. Janus engages with Reddit, damaging both himself and the mob. He also has the ability of graphs. Janus polls the Pantheon community and puts the information into a Venn diagram while buffing his group with increased mana regen. And lastly, possible outcomes. Janus looks forward into the future and views all possible outcomes. The group is instantly ported to a dead boss mob and begins dividing loot.
Very nice.
He skips all the fighting, all the drama, everything.
Which is good because that group needs to skip the fighting. Let's be honest. Using that ability,
we control the fight. We have 2 CCs. We can do a lot of controlling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Strong pick.
So what was your scouting report? You got him last. Was that a value pick? Was this where you wanted him? What are you thinking?
Well, it come down to, I had him, I'll be honest, Janus, no disrespect, but I had you, of course, behind my pick at Tess. For control, but I wanted some more diversity, and I have a bard now. I have an enchanter, and what Janus, the scouting reporter Janus I have, was he was the only person of all control members to pick a class that was actually certain to be in the game. Right, so all the other control people pick a class that's not even guaranteed to be in the game at launch. So. For me, that showcased that he has, I got a lot of respect for him by making that pick, but at the same time, it shows that, maybe Janus is playing a little safe, which speaks to the mana. I love the card that was picked because my scouting report says Janus tends to play it safe and could limit your group in efficiency in pools. He will need to be at 100% mana for every pool because of his conservative nature and gameplay. So that fits pretty well with the card. It fits well downtime. It fits well with my group. Like, I am thrilled with my group.
Did you see Sacred's comment about Janus? He looks like he kind of has some inside scoop there. He takes great screenshots as well.
And stores them forever.
Nice.
So an interesting, just give us a quick Miletus. Your group's done. give us a quick rundown of your group here. You know that Surfer Dave sings, right?
I did not, which is awesome.
So Surfer Dave I don't know if you know, he's now Prismatic Dave. He is Surfer Dave, he's Raging Dave, and he's just Dave. But when he's just Dave on stream, he actually plays a guitar and does acoustic sets streaming on Twitch. So you may have found an accidental match in heaven right there.
Dude, I have the best musically inclined team ever. If that's the case. Yeah, Nathan and Tess are going to be the natural kind of leaders of our group. Nathan's going to tank hopefully for us. Tess will be hopefully. I haven't asked him yet. I'm kind of
got to coach him up a little bit there.
Hoping he's listed as tank, so he better put on his shield and get ready to go. And I think between Tess with her battle cry and Nathan with his God is good cry, like we'll be charging into battle, fully spiritually enhanced between the two of them. We'll have Joppa's profound knowledge of the game. We will never be lost. We'll always be strongly healed. When it comes to Micah, he will be DPS, he will be support, he will build bridges, he will buff us, he will be that wonderful support class that we need. And then lastly, or last two spots, I'm going to have Surfer Dave just laying down the deeps, just casting that. See, we don't have to worry about aggro so much. We got so much crowd control. Even if he pulls off the tank, I can have either Janus or I can have Tess, CC, or Mez, the person running at us. So I think we got a great group makeup. Love it.
My biggest fear, I heard a rumor report that your group may not even play Pantheon. You guys might be releasing your first EP. So
we might be so busy. Cutting albums that we don't.
All right.
I think we'll all be there.
All right. So that puts me on the clock here, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is it here. This is the big pick. Do I take Baz Grim? Do I take Bendine? Both phenomenal tanks, right? No issue with tanking. Both paladins, strong. I would have preferred a warrior. I hope that doesn't hurt our negotiations later. Would have preferred a warrior, if I'm going to be honest. Warrior cleric, right? But I'm here with two paladins, and either one would help my team, but one of them will disrupt the other, possibly.
Who will that be? The drama.
So I'm going to go ahead and submit my pick here to round out my team.
With your last pick. And it is in. Music, please.
Here we go.
With the next pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Minus selects Bendine, the Paladin from VR, from the tank class.
So I figured...
Yeah, talk to us about that.
Yeah, so this was tough. I love Baz. Wasn't trying to make him last pick. But I'm interested to see Baz, Lexer, Chris Kane, and Vandrad work together. I'm really interested in seeing how that can happen. You're going to have this group that's ready to just go crazy. And you're going to have this other tank who's like, guys, wait. This doesn't make sense.
I'll pay money to come watch that team run.
Yeah. So for me, it wasn't so much which one's better for my group. Both of them would have fit on my group just fine. We don't have a tank. And I'm going to tell you guys, there was a slight chance if there was Miletus still sitting there, I would have taken a third healer and we'd be tanking rogues all day, baby. That was going to be the plan here, right? We were just 3 healers can keep me up. If not me, we'll keep Killstone. We'll figure it out, right? But I was down to 2 tanks, so I had to go with Bendine. Let's get his card up on the board here. I have him as Mikhail. There we go. So there you go.
Okay. So Bendine, just trying to find. There he is, Mikhail, the Bean Spiller. He is your dwarf paladin for your group. His abilities include Spill the Beans. When Mikhail is grouped with another VR dev, he immediately spills the beans, causing a magic resistance debuff on all VR devs in the party. And as a VR dev, he also has the Pledge Pantheon ability. Bendine gets another backer, Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. All members of your party are closer to the release of Pantheon Rise of the Fallen and feel invincible, taking no damage for the next 20 seconds. Oh my God.
Good.
So we will sort of debuff our group a bit there, right? But we're going to get beans and the game's going to come out of it. So we'll be first in. We have a good shot at world first. and we have an extra healer to make up for some of the debuff that we kind of have on our party. We just have to watch, right? 20-second iframe, pretty crazy, long cooldown.
Yeah.
But Miletus, what did you? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Theric.
No, I was just going to say with that 20-second invincibility and look at all the DPS on your team, pretty good.
Yeah, 20
Yeah, that is
seconds.
pretty
That's pretty OP. Yeah,
Yes.
20 seconds. Yeah.
And I
Time
figure
out
is-
like during boss and rages.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can just go to
Yeah.
town.
There we
Kill
go.
the boss.
So Miletus, what did you have on? He goes by the man of many names. You know, he was just Ben. Then he was Bandine, and then he was Mikhail, and then he was Mikhail, aka Bandine. I mean, this guy's name changes more than Ronik's
Prince.
class. So, so what did you have on him here?
Let's have Paladin, his strengths. He is above all other tanks, the best communicator in the draft. He can clearly articulate pulls, mobs, and which path to take throughout the dungeon. The only weakness he has is that he often creates confusion with his target markers of baked, pinto, kidney, lima, and refried. Teams are often confused and ensues upon pulls. That's my scouting report for Ben D.
Yeah. So here's the interesting thing. You know, the fear for me with my group, breaking my group down, and then we'll get to team community here. We do got to get someone from team community come on and talk about their team. So if you're in
I'll go find out.
so Theric's going to go do some research. We can get someone in to talk about this team. We're going to go ahead and move Baz Grim into there and then come in and talk about how this all played out. But here's the deal. My biggest fear, if anybody watches me stream, is that I'm a little impatient. Now, I'm not saying we have to run constantly. I'm not saying we're just pulling it, but if it's go time, I'm going. I'm stealthed up. I'm in the front. I'm ready to pull. So I need a tank that's going to be able to be in front of me. That's not an easy task. I'm hoping Ben can do that. I think the only one in the draft that I would have felt comfortable was Def. So when that was taken, that's why I almost didn't go with a tank. And I was just going to get healers to try to keep me up. But Miletus went, so I had to pick a tank there. So I think, Ben, your work's cut out for you, but we have the 2 rogues. We have no elves in this group. That's very important. Okay? No elves in the group. And we have some synergy here. So I'm loving my cleric healer. That's my favorite healer. Here's the good thing too. The trade was important. Nathan, you rounded your group out. Well, I think it worked for both of us. But one of the things is bringing Sacred into my group. He's my guild leader. This should get me into every raid, right? Pretty easy. So, right. So, I mean, I traded for him. I gave up the ability to finish my group first. But I did it for him. Maybe, plus DKP possibly. I'm excited. We have rogue synergy. We got a summoner in the back. I'm not a huge fan of Summoner, but it's Sacred, so we'll carry him. But we have the Shaman in the control role to debuff and help with healing. And we got Brass healing all day, getting us drinks. I did lose my drinking partner. Hiya. I did have to sacrifice you for the betterment of the guild, but hey, we've already been there before. So we're all good to go there. Excited for the team. I think we have a good makeup here. So.
All right. Well, we know who the last pick is, but he still gets an announcement, I feel.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
let's
we
go ahead
need
and
to
give
see
it.
that
Yep.
card.
Yes. Okay. With the final pick in the 2020 Pantheon Plus Dungeon Group Draft, Team Community selects the one and only Baz Grim, the Paladin from the tank class.
All right. So we have his scouting report up here as well.
We have to do the scouting report.
Look at this picture.
I gotta refresh. I can't see it. Baz Grim, the first. He is our dwarf paladin on Team Community. He has the VR link. You may link Baz Grim with a VR dev in your group, and he becomes VR bound. If Baz Grim is VR bound, his taunts and heals are doubled in strength. He has the ability of knowledge. Baz Grim answers your forum post while healing adventurers' wounds.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's good.
With a picture like that, that's all you need. Give me a break. I'm so happy that he's on Team Community. I have to say, I cannot believe he lasted till this, the end of the draft. But my gosh.
Yep.
What a pick.
Miletus,
And
before we bring Team Community in to talk about their team, how it's rounded out, what was your scouting report on Baz Grim? Probably the guy who started this all, let's be honest. He was, when you talk Team Community, this guy got us in. I think all of us that are standing here right now and talking are partially were influenced by him in one way, shape, or form. So what is your scouting report, Miletus?
Sure, absolutely. Baz Grim, his encyclopedic knowledge of Pantheon and his class means that you will never catch Baz Grim in threat. He simply knows too much about the game. His weakness, however, when he pulls, at times he will note some environmental details such as a leaf or a wood texture and state, Visionary Realms creative director Chris Joppa Perkins, followed by a 15-minute explanation of how the assets were developed. This can result in a 2-hour-long dungeon run turning into a 5 or 6-hour-long dungeon run. He should never be paired with Theric in the same group.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Now
You
the
have
dungeon runs are going to be
Theric,
10
Chris
hours.
Kane, and Baz Grim. And
Guys,
keep in
I'm
mind,
sorry.
guys, these were written before anything.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Look at this. Our dungeon runs are going to be some of the longest dungeon runs. You're old and gray by the time we get out of.
Well, here's the
Black
good news. I don't know about Vandrad or Chris, but I will tell you this: he's game for super long conversations and stuff. So Lexer can last forever. I mean, him and Yarn, the conversations they had and the after conversations, Lexer's good to go. He's shown the resiliency. I'm interested.
He survived VOT for 4 years.
Yeah.
Fighting with Yarn and back and forth. He's got the resilience for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so is someone from the community team
yes.
going to? Yeah. Okay. So who we bringing
Vandrad
in?
is going to come in. I'm going to pull him in. He's going to review our team community.
Okay. All right.
Here he comes.
Vandrad, welcome to the 2020 first ever Dungeon Group Draft. Talk to us about your team. Talk to us about your team here.
I'm so angry.
Beautiful team.
It is a gorgeous team. Well, the first 5 are gorgeous.
Oh.
So let's go over our team composition here. A lot of people have said, "Oh, we don't have a very solid looking team." I think we have a perfectly set up team here. If you think about this, okay, Dire Lord and Shaman have great synergy. Okay, we've got Bards, which will be a crowd control class and a melee DPS class. Okay, we've got our Rangers, we've got our 2 DPS classes, 3 if you want to count the Summoner, right? Yep. So we've got great crowd control, we've got the ability to tank 2 mobs at any one time, and we've got crowd control. What else do you need? I'm looking at your team, Minus, and going, you've got 0 crowd control whatsoever and 1 tank. What are you going to do when 3 mobs show up?
Theric, what's my saying?
Your saying is the quicker they're dead, the less defense we need.
Yeah, unfortunately, your cleric is going to die, and then your shaman's going to die, and you can backstab all you want after that.
So Vandrad, finish what you're saying, but we already have a rebuttal from the community, not on your team. So finish what you're saying. Then there's actually going to be a rebuttal in here. So go ahead.
No, go right ahead. I'm interested to hear what they've got to say here.
Okay,
and
so
then I've got something to propose.
Okay, so Sacred, let's go ahead and you're coming in here. Let's get your mute and your headphones off here. And we're going to bring in Sacred. He has a rebuttal here to some of the...
I hope he's not going to say that the summoner pet is going to tank, because that's not going to happen.
I don't know. Let's see, Sacred. Sacred, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious how he doesn't think that the summoner just can't do it all, because we are the all of everything going on. I mean, let's be honest, Vandrad. Like, if I'm being real about it, then I'm pretty much just going to carry the team as is. The rogue's going to be there to just play a supporting role to my DPS, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to tank, so the paladin can pretty much go over there.
No, hold on.
Whoa.
Aren't going to tank, sir. Your pet will tank for about 4.5 seconds.
Well, I mean,
at which point you're going to be going, I bet I will be at my bind point in 3, 2, 1.
Hold on. My draft team is actually contacting Vandrad right now. There's some stuff going on behind the scenes. Vandrad, I think they sent you a message for a trade. It's.
I believe that they have.
Do you want to talk it over with the community real quick and see?
What kind of trade are we looking at here?
What are you thinking? Do you want to go?
Oh. Let's see here.
Why don't you jump back up and let us know what they say? And if you
all
want,
right.
So Sacred, stay here.
Send me back.
Okay.
So Sacred, you were talking about, summoners doing it all. You know a little bit. You may know more beans than we do. We can't get into beans tonight. This isn't a bean show. So you're saying you can fulfill the role there.
Yeah, no, I don't even need a pet. It's just gonna be me. Like, let's be real about it. Like, you've seen me play, okay? Like, it's pretty obvious. Let's just go there.
Okay.
But I mean, let's look at this group. Miletus, you did the best trade of the night. For one, you used me as a smokescreen to get your double rogue. Let's just go ahead and point that out so all of your competitors know that you outsmarted them. But two, we have the best drinking group of the show. I mean, hey, what more can you want?
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's see. I think Vandrad is still.
I am back.
Oh, he's back. Okay, so don't say what it is, but is it accepted, or what are your thoughts here?
After consulting with Team Community has accepted your offer.
Okay, so let me go ahead and send that to our to the important party here. So,
okay. Breaking news! We
go
have
ahead
a trade.
and play
Last
this.
minute trade.
Okay. So the trade is from Team Minus to Team Community. Sacred for Baz Grim.
So we have traded. Yes, we have traded Sacred for Baz Grim. We didn't like how he was talking about rogues. There seemed to be some synergy issues within Team Community, and I think this is a trade that helped us both. So
now we've got
guild leader. You're getting no raids now. You're getting no raids, none, zero, zip. No.
So
raids
while T Minus now has his 2 tanks to deal with his multiple ads, our DPS has now gone up significantly.
Yeah.
So our time to kill has dropped by a huge margin. With 2 summoners, you've got the ability for one to pull in the Undine pet, so they can have 2. We can have 4 pets out at one time, when they get the epic ability. This is looking good.
You have
Okay,
Ranger.
I'm gonna bring something up.
Yeah.
Pull up Baz Grim's card if you would, Minus, because there
I
is
know he's got the whole synergy with VR.
Massive synergy.
However, I will have to say that so far, the ability that we have seen of the VR people to play their classes is suspect.
Oh, what an excellent point. How come nobody thought of that up to this point?
That is true.
Wow.
So we had Sacred
Now, I'm sure that
in the
they're going
chat
to
here.
improve in time, and they'll have less to focus on when they're not trying to do dev streams at the same time. However, just going off of the preseason play that we've seen so far, not really sure about how all those little synergies are going to work together.
So the interesting thing here is we traded Sacred. He was in this. He's gone. He has left. I think his agents are. I think he's sitting there talking to his agents and saying, "How is it possible that I was traded twice in one draft?"
Wait.
Yeah, so there is a history. So right now,
There's another trade offer, I believe, on the table.
okay.
Oh my
Sent
God,
to-
there is.
to
Yeah,
their-
I missed it in all the talk. There is another trade that has been
Oh my
proposed.
goodness.
Oh, geez. Okay. So let me
Okay,
get you the sound
so
here.
let's
Is
see
it
here.
proposed or accepted?
It's not accepted.
It's not accepted.
I need
Okay.
Derek to relay it to
Okay.
Okay,
I'll
all
relay
right.
this to the green room. I will be right back.
So we have an interesting move here coming up. Sacred left. He's in panic mode right now with his agents.
He kind of belongs in that group. He gets a little angry. I'm seeing
This is team vitriol right here.
Okay.
This is weird because I never saw the Pantheon community as being angry, but tonight's kind of making me. Reddit makes a lot more sense to me now. I'm starting to understand.
That's never true. No, that's never true. Nick.
All right. So we still have a trade pending here.
Reddit.
Team Reddit. We don't want it. Team Reddit. That's dangerous. Sacred is
Give me Dawn
back.
Server.
Sacred is in the green room. We may have to go to him. Let's see what's happening with this trade offer before we end up wrapping up this group. Is the trade offer accepted? Are they still thinking? I don't know who's involved. Theric is in the green room.
I wasn't involved.
Theric, I might have to toss you up because Theric's talking to the green room. Vandred, I'm going to toss you up there. So anticipation here, the groups are rounding out. Sacred called his agent. Things are not good. I think, guys, there is a possibility that we may see Sacred drop out and we may see someone named Leper pop in. I'm not 100% sure, but...
So listen, guys, whatever happens when it's announced, as soon as it's announced, look over at Baz Grim.
Okay, we have an answer from the community.
Okay.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the trade has been declined.
Oh, the trade has been declined.
I had to try.
Yes.
I had to try.
Yes.
So-
it
so-
was considered and discussed.
So Vandrad, would you like to bring the trade to light? You know, usually when you have a trade that's declined, you don't want to disrupt anything. But Vandrad, do you want to bring the trade up? Do you want to know what was declined?
I heard it at the very last second, and I said no to it.
Okay.
Yes.
But I didn't hear the whole thing, so I can't speak to it yet.
So Theric, let's go ahead. Our fans have stuck with us all night. We're doing a 2-hour stream here. Theric,
So the offer was
yeah.
Team Miletus offered Janus for either Sacred or Drac.
Wow. We could have
I was
had
hoping to move Sacred again.
That's what I
Sacred
was
could
just
have
gonna
been
say.
on
Well,
all
we
four
had
teams.
The humor of trading Sacred for the third time, and then we ended up deciding we liked our team the way it was,
Okay.
and we had
So
what we needed.
all right. So Sacred, the community, you know, Nathan traded you, I traded you, and the community had a chance to trade you. But you know, they said no.
Yeah.
We believe in him.
It's where he
We
belongs.
believe in him. So
Yep.
so there you go.
Yep, he has to stick with the community because he's only got 7 days of VR, and
I don't.
yeah.
I see that Drax says double summoners are scary. I don't think you guys will live 3 minutes into any pool.
Yeah, good
You
luck.
got you got one healer. You got one poor healer. And-
Not just one healer. Okay, let's be clear about this. You have the best healer.
Okay.
Seriously,
All right,
come
all
on.
right, all right.
You better be the best, or they're all gonna die. So,
Let's just
I need
hope
the
that
top
your
of your game.
summoners know how to take taunt off on their pets. So Vandrad, have a good night, man. Thank you. I'm gonna throw you back
Very
up.
welcome. Thank you.
Just discuss your success with your team. Well, guys, that was the first ever Pantheon MMO dungeon group draft. We had a lot of fun, a lot of joking, a lot of ball busting between each other. And that's what makes this community awesome, guys, is the fact that we have 24 people from very different walks of life that do different types of content, that do much different mentalities on how they want to play the game. But we were able to come together and we were able to talk through. Now, the underlying thing here is, yes, it's super goofy. We have all this flair. We have sound effects. We have trades. We have cards. At the end of the day, the big thing is this there are multiple ways to build a group. If you're in a guild and you're afraid of taking too little DPS or too many DPS, there's ways around it. And I think that it's super fun to kind of look at how you can make a group worthwhile. So really loving the groups. Mine is obviously the best. We got rogues. They're the highest DPS. Me and Kilson are going to light stiff up. And if Ben gets sidetracked, Baz Grim can try to keep up. So they can kind of take turns keeping up with us rogues. And we got the healer there. We got the shaman for debuffs. I'm loving life. I love my group. We're going to put out the groups here on Twitter. We'll probably throw some polls up. Which group do you think would do the best inside a dungeon and why? And we'll put that in the comments of the video when we throw this over to YouTube in 24 hours. So Miletus, Nathan, Theric, you guys have been amazing. Did you have fun?
Yeah,
Oh
can
my
we
God.
each do a closing statement on our team?
Yes.
Just kind of round it off. I just want to say real quick that my team is freaking awesome, guys. I've got the only. I know, I get it. All tanks can tank. I get it, but I've got the tank. I've got the warrior. I've got Def. I've got the cleric, which I get it, but that's the true healer. Plus, I get the druid with all the awesome abilities that they can do. I've got the bard. I've got Ronick. I've got Hayar.
Everyone was
no
a
matter
class,
what
but you
happens
had
to our
Ronick.
group, we have people who can handle any scenario. And the best part about it is it's my group, but I'm not even in it. And I don't even have to worry about holding aggro. I know my man Def can do it. I know that if he drops the ball, Hayaz will pick it up. That is the best group. It is.
Miletus, what do you got? How do you follow that up?
I think it's funny that, and this is what Miletus and I were talking about when he asked me to do the show, and I was thinking, the personality of people and how they fit together, their psychological aspects. And as I look at this makeup here, to me, it reflects the personality of the person who picked that team, even with a community. Trust me, like I've been in some of those discussions with that mean community before, and you are who Denny Green was like, who I thought you were. Like that is who we thought they were. That is who I thought you were. And me, that clearly, I think the songbird, overly hopeless utopian group of Team Miletus is there, and minus kill everything, kill all elves. His group is there. I just think it's beautiful that it worked out in a way that it reflected the personalities of our teams. So that's really cool. I would love it. How about this, Mina? How about this? When the game launches, right? And we climb up to a decent level, here's what we have to do. We all have to go to a dungeon, an open dungeon, which they're all going to be, and we need to run this as these groups at the same time. How cool would that be? And then at the end of it, talk about how our experience different, have the strategies that we took. I think that would be a lot of fun.
It'd be a lot of fun.
We should do that. If we got to get the devs to agree, because there's a lot of devs in here though. And
yeah,
I just want everybody to know
I won't have any. It'll be me and Baz.
Everything that just happened tonight, I paid Miletus a lot of money to get to play with Joppa. So I paid him a lot of money because he did. So
wow.
Awesome.
The truth comes out.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this show. I hope the community had fun. You guys were really rocking. The green room is out of control. There's so many people in there chatting, and it's great. You guys are working all together. Everybody was incredibly good sports. I really want to thank Joppa, Brass, Ronik, all coming in and being a part of this is awesome. The community loves you for that. Thank you for giving us that time. This isn't about Pantheon Plus. It's about Standing in Fire. It's about Nathan Napalm, Baz Grim, Voices of Terminus, and everyone in between. It's just awesome. And to have everybody here together to do something really goofy that has a good underlying message, while we all disagree a ton. Remember, guys, we all have something in common. We all want to get in these groups and start running dungeons. And thank you guys for everything. In the comments, like I said, in 24 hours, that's how it works. It'll be up on YouTube. I would love to see you guys draft your group. What's your group? Now, you don't have to worry about who's gone. What's your group and why? So we'll get a bunch of those up, and then we'll talk about it on the rewind and do some different posts about your different picks. But thank you guys. Awesome time tonight. We went a little long, but not too bad. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Theric. Thank you, Miletus. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, all.